Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UK's first ever Dota 2 Major, live from ESL One Birmingham, day number 3. We've got 2 more days to come, of course. Semi-finals and final ahead of us, and also another quarterfinal just around the corner. But before we get there, whilst we let the teams get ready on the main stage, we've changed up our panel to have a little quick discussion about the DPC and where it's gone so far, with just one more major remaining, the Super Major, in a couple of weeks' time. The things are getting very tight indeed. Welcome back to the panel, Blitz, and also welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Britain's very own Period Flax.
Hello, my people.
Dota 2 royalty on the panel.
Now, I actually was a little disappointed
Right.
in the crowd so far with all their whooping and cheering and the banging. I wanted to get a nice, polite British, just a round of applause. Can we just get a very gentle... There we go.
Clap.
Thank you. That's much more like.
That's much more Wimbledon.
I like that.
Yep.
Very
Okay.
good, yeah.
Also, by the way, Ted, where have you been?
Well, it's Dress Down Friday. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Like, have you been out on a night out or something?
No, you know, it's. They didn't tell me I was going to be on the panel until, until I packed.
All right.
So I was like, well, I'm not unpacking, so maybe they'll drop me. But
It's
no.
good. It's great to have you here, though.
Yeah,
We're very happy to have you.
Thanks.
As always. What have you made of the Dota so far? Have you followed
So
much
far?
of the DPC? Have you followed it through the season?
Well, not particularly.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I've watched what I can.
Yeah.
But I'm a busy man. Got
I
a
know.
family and
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like
I-
that. You know. I mean, a lot of the guys at the events, this is all they do, and they know every game and what they drafted and everything. I haven't got time for that. But yeah, this guy. So I try and follow what I can. But I think a lot of people are saying the DPC thing means some teams have already made it and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There will come a season where it comes down to like the last series and these guys go and these guys don't. I don't think we've seen the full benefit of it in the first season.
Yeah, I mean, gents, we've got 4 through. We already know 4 teams there. We kind of know the 5th one, although Mineski just blew their chance of making it absolutely certain. But they're pretty much there, Alan, aren't they?
In our simulations right now, actually, the 1 through 7 teams are all at least 90% and really getting up toward 95, most of them. It's really that final spot that's taken care of. And the way it works is that in this tournament, Fnatic need to make the grand finals, Optic need to win the whole thing, and then it gets real interesting.
When you said your simulations, sorry, Paul, I'm curious. Do you actually have like a laboratory? I imagine a lot of people in coats with pencils going, Alan, with the results. Oh, sorry, Dr. Nahaz, the results are in. And you're like, yes, no, this is no good. Is that the kind of simulation we're talking about?
No, I have a really smart guy named Knoxville, and he has a really big computer that I run for him.
Okay. Less impressive, but still a thing.
I mean, I just thought I was in a simulation.
Right now?
Yeah, I thought that's what this is, isn't it?
Are you all right, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Monte Carlo for you guys is where you go on vacation, huh?
So yeah, I mean, the other team, right, sweating right now. They're at home. They're not here. They're taking part. But there is a very important other team involved in all of this, and that's VGJ Thunder, who are sitting in that 8th place right now, hoping beyond hope that Mineski don't get any more points. Well, actually, don't get Mineski. Fnatic don't get any points whatsoever. Optic don't get any more points than they've got already. And then they've got a chance of holding on to the top 8.
Yeah, right now VGJ Thunder are just hoping that VP cleans house, everything goes as planned, OG wins this next series, everything will be cool. And so far so good for VP, who I don't think have dropped a single game here.
No.
Looked very dominant doing so. So I don't know how worried you are if you're VGJ Thunder. I think you're still feeling pretty good about your chances so far.
What have you made of the whole season, Will? It's been a long one, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a really long one. I think that for the most part, the teams that should be there are there. I feel like Newbie right now is in a really weird position where I feel like I haven't seen them win in quite some time. Like, I don't think I've seen them win consecutive series in quite some time, but they're still in the top 8 and they're pretty entrenched in it
Secret
too.
as well, right?
Yeah, Secret has, I mean, Secret's a little bit of a different story just because of how dominant they were in the first half of the season. It's a little bit more forgiving in my eyes, but I think Newbie is a team that is very fortunate with how they performed in the first half.
Do you think there's some burnout inevitably for these teams? Do you feel like Secret, for instance, maybe just a little bit jaded every time they go to another country? I know they've had a particularly long run because they've done well in qualifiers when they've had a qualifier, and then they've had lots of invites amongst it. So they've almost been seems like every tournament this year.
Well, I think that's what we've seen on display all season long, is how the different teams have very different personalities, and they're dealing with this unprecedented grind in so many different ways. We're going from a system that had basically 3 to 4 big tournaments a year to the one that has 11 majors, and at least in the first part of the team, all the big teams are playing the minors as well. And so I definitely think, especially in the case of Newbie, I mean, you'd see these guys at LANs in early this year after Genting, and they just looked exhausted. And they could barely walk in a straight line. You know, I still think that team is really good. The other thing that people don't talk about as much is that the 8 teams that qualify are going to have about 2 months off between the Super Major and TI. They're going to have a lot of time to boot camp, a lot of time to prep new strats. I think we're going to see a lot of teams like Secret that have looked underwhelming for most of the last couple of months come back in a big way.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Ted, I've got a fun question for you.
Hit me.
The Dota Professional Circuit, obviously, it's had its critics at times throughout this season. Some people have said they love it. Some people have said they don't think it's perfect, but there's some small tweaks that they could change. What would they do? So if Ted, Mr. Pyrion Flax,
I was in charge
if Pyrion Flax was in charge of the DPC, what would it look like next year?
If you're a UK team, you get a free pass.
I love it already.
That's all I've got.
Name one UK team.
The Potato Farmers Union. There are others. I'm not sure they're safe to name, but some of my guys, we could get a team together. We're ready. If we get the free pass.
So one. You got one team.
Just at PFU is one I'd like to give a shout out to Shane, so I'll say PFU, yeah. One to watch.
An up-and-coming team in the Dota world.
Exactly.
Hoping to take on the mighty Veggies in TI qualifiers.
Yeah. What would you do?
Me?
Yeah, you. Same question.
I don't know if I should respond to that.
What a cop-out.
Ask Alan, he's got some ideas.
I mean, I'll be the one to skewer myself. I mean, no, look, I think that the first thing, it starts with there being more separation between minors and majors. I think one of the big problems at the beginning of the season was that all the teams wanted to play all the events because nobody knew exactly how many points you were going to need to get to TI. And so the minors became just the same field of teams, and we didn't see the same kind of opportunities for tier 2 teams.
I did see people suggesting that perhaps, you know, bigger teams shouldn't be able to play in the minors or something like that.
I'm not in favor, so I'm an economist, right? I'm a little bit more free market guy, but I'm in favor of, I think you should restrict the number of direct invites that a minor can have to only maybe 1 or 2, certainly no more than 20% of the field. I'd like to see fewer direct invites to majors as well, so that those tier 2 teams get more of an opportunity. I'd like to see winners of minors get bids to the next major if we can make that work with the visas. Overall, I think the DPC system, I think we're in a better place than we were 1 year ago, but I think you deal with those things, you deal with the tournament format issues that have cropped up throughout the seasons, and you can have a really good season next year.
All right, we're going to move on. Our game is just around the corner, as we said. We'll preview that matchup right now by starting with Fnatic. It's Fnatic versus OG, Will. All the pressure is on Fnatic here, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Just because
DPC points, having to win a major, all that kind of stuff. That's a tall ask.
I think for OG, they're just playing just to get better. They're prepping for the qualifiers. It's very clear what their goals are. Whereas for Fnatic, there's definitely that edge that they have to play with just because getting top 2 means that there's a very likely chance that they don't have to play through those C qualifiers. And those C qualifiers are rough. There's a lot of different teams that you could potentially run into. They've been knocked out of qualifiers before. It's not a given for them by any means. And so I think they come in here with a ton of pressure on their backs.
Yeah, and oddly, Alan, TNC are back home cheering for them.
Yes, they are. They do not want to see Fnatic, yeah.
Because they won't then be in the qualifiers nor Mineski, which means TNC will have an easier time. I'm not saying straightforward, but easier time. So there's a lot of teams riding on this. It's not just the one team that's involved in that that could get top 8.
Yeah, I think Will said it best though. The SEA region has always been a region where the qualifiers are probably most volatile. Back when we used to have the 4, it was, a lot of years were 3 sort of expected results, and then SEA, who knows? And Fnatic are looking at that. They're going, they've dropped games to TNC. They've dropped games to teams like Geek Fam in the recent history. They need to worry about going through those qualifiers. A lot on the line.
Yeah. And Ted, what are your thoughts on Fnatic? Have you had a chance to see any of the matches here?
We saw them at Dream League, and they could be good at times. They
have their moments, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But there are also moments where you think they haven't quite figured it out. Necessarily how
I think
they
that's a good summary, isn't it? Inconsistent is their definite watchword.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that makes them exciting to watch, for sure. And I love watching them.
Yeah, I think Will and I were saying this the other day. I think Alan was kind of like, no, they need to be more methodical. They need to be more like feature games. And Will and me, no, I want this version of Fnatic. I love watching this version of Fnatic.
I think if they become predictable, they maybe become, in a way, easier to beat.
Yeah.
As long as they're unpredictable.
You've upset him already, look.
Analyze this, they say.
Alan, why do you want them to become more methodical? Is it just results-based? Is that what you want to see from them?
No, there is a reason that Fnatic feel like they are a much more dangerous team when they are behind than ahead. And it's because in a lot of games, it takes them getting behind for them to go hit towers. They're a team, you cannot play Dota right now. We're going to talk about this with OG too, by the way. You can't play Dota right now as win a big fight, go farm your next item. That's losing Dota. You're going to get run off the map by teams like LGD. And Fnatic, when they are ahead, have the tendency to get way too passive.
Okay, well, let's talk about OG. Let's talk about their opponents. Will, tell me if this is right logic. Right? I look at this matchup and go, ooh, Fnatic, awesome, love watching them. Ooh, OG, awesome, love watching them. They're both super inconsistent, therefore, match should be extra exciting. Is that good logic?
I think so. Just because you don't know what form you're going to get out of either team, you just know that you're going to get entertaining Dota, especially with Fnatic. And OG's in a similar boat just because sometimes they decide that they're going to play world-class Dota when they knock out Vici in a best-of-1, and sometimes, you know, they're going to get knocked out by teams like VP and Optic. Just like Optic should be a team that they should be able to beat in a best-of-1 considering they took out Vici,
sure.
But sometimes they just don't hit that form, and so at the very least, it'll be unpredictable.
You might say it's like a 50-50.
I might say that, Ted.
Definite good odds, good stats. I can see you're after his job on the end. Alan, talk to me about OG in the way that they played this tournament, though, because they have looked different, haven't they? They haven't looked as inconsistent. They have looked better in drafts.
No, I think OG are in many ways playing a lot of the same Dota that carried them to major wins a year and 2 years ago. They play a very efficient brand of Dota where their rotations are take objectives, farm camps, on the way to other objectives, push lanes, take towers, and it's very methodical. It's the same brand of Dota what they used to win with Core Naga, Core Alchemist, these heroes that just are efficient farmers. And they almost put passive pressure on the enemy team because they're accumulating so many resources. Thing is, this brand of Dota in this meta is all about pushing lanes and pressuring objectives, and OG at times can feel too slow with some of those rotations. They even in their wins against Pain Gaming had a couple of times where if Pain hadn't overextended, they would have gotten punished for farming camps on the way to objectives. Now, I think Fnatic is a very good matchup for OG because if Fnatic play passive, OG are going to get that space that they crave. They're going to farm up their cores and they're going to win the game. But if Fnatic start playing around these BKB timings, which we saw them show signs of the other day, I think Fnatic can take the series for sure.
Okay, Ted, what do you make of all this moving around business inside the team? I don't know if you've been following OG, but they're switching not just lanes, but they're switching players in different lanes. S4 sometimes he's mid, sometimes he's off. What do you make of that? Are you a fan or not?
No, I think you should put people in a role and they should stick to it, honestly. I'm a bit like that. I think that's how you get good in a role, is learning all the matchups, practicing them, playing them game after game. If you're switching it up, it does have an effect. I mean, there's a reason that most teams don't do that.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I think it's obviously experimenting, finding out what's comfortable. But most teams do not say, let's try this time. Like, that's just not the way they do it. So, but we'll see.
Will, does it offer them an extra bit of flexibility, though?
I kind of disagree in the sense that I think the absolute best teams should be able to be as flexible as possible. Like you saw Liquid where they played positionless Dota, where Matama Man was sometimes playing mid, sometimes he plays carry, sometimes he plays off lane. Like they shutter their roles around constantly, and I think OG, they have a player in S4 who I think when it comes to talent, like pure talent, is top 3 in the world. This guy, if he played any single role in Dota, I know he'd succeed, no problem. And you have to utilize your players like that. And I think N0tail is also in a very similar vein, able to move around. He's at times had to play the hard carry. I saw him play the offlane Void the other day in great success against Vici. I feel like this positionless Dota, even though it's a little bit awkward and not all teams do it, it's sort of the way that you move forward into Dota.
Liquid did get knocked out though, didn't they?
Yeah, but they also won TI, so.
True.
All right, well,
Last TI will.
You two carry on having the fight, that's fine. We've got Sir Action Slacks, of course, was part of our broadcasting. We didn't fire him earlier. Instead, he's still with us. JK, what's up?
I'm back in the crowd. Hey, Red Eye, how's it going? Hello, crowd. We're still alive out there. Ah, yes, yes. Gentlemen, hello, welcome. Now, I found these guys. They're color coordinated. Are you guys an in real life Dota stack?
Pardon?
Are you a stack? Do you play Dota together? Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna take some guesses here. We're gonna play a little game here. I'm gonna try to guess who is who. Situation for you. You're mid lane. Are you happy or sad?
Very sad.
All right, so position 5 support? All right, that's great. All right. Here we go. Okay, what's your ideal game of Dota?
Slow.
That's carry. Carry player, position 1? Is that correct?
No.
Okay, great. Wow. Well, what are you?
Offlane.
Offlane, slow offlane. Well, I'm sure things are great in 2K. That sounds great. All right, number 1 thing you buy in a match. What do we got?
Wards.
Okay, that's easy. You're the carry. No. Position 4? Yes. Not the position 5. He doesn't buy anything, so that's easy to say. And then last but not least, middle lane. Look at that. Oh, you see, he's the suavest one. These guys are nervous, but he's just ready for that question. There we go. Middle lane. What do you think about your team?
Pretty good. I mean, if they feed, I'm screwed, so...
Typical damn mid laner. That's supposed to be your job, but whatever. And gentlemen, let's talk about the games. What'd you guys think of the games? Tell me about it. Any hype stuff?
It was awesome. Yeah, great to finally see some good Dota in the UK.
That's unnecessary, but thank you very much. All right, great. What do you think about this next series?
I'm really looking forward to seeing Fnatic, to be honest. It's going to be sick.
All right, Fnatic fans. We got one over here. All right. Anybody a Fnatic fan in this place? Ah. All right, fantastic. Sir. Who do you think is going to be taking this tournament? The big question. Who do you hope?
I think it's going to be VP, but we really like Pain, because I think we decided they're basically British, just because we haven't got anyone better.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think they did that to Pyrian Flax. They didn't have a better person, so they put a Brit on the panel. That's great. Gentlemen, hello, welcome. Oh, now I've got questions for you guys. You've been standing here all day. You've been looking at stuff. You won't sit down. Are you excited?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Why are we standing here, sir?
Oh, I just see anybody, yeah, it's incredible to be here, be this close, to be in the UK and see good Dota 2, it's incredible.
Evil geniuses, any words to say that you're supporting the team still, you're still rocking it. There's no reason to laugh. I am literally, all right, supporting words for you boys.
Oh yeah, I mean, anybody just go. Oh yeah, it's just incredible to be here, yeah. I don't know what to say. It's brilliant, I'm overwhelmed to be here.
That was not about evil geniuses, that was about yourself. That was not supportive.
EG, you're terrible there.
What are you doing, you idiot? They're watching at home, you ruined their day. Oh, God, all right. This is a very special man right here. I want you guys to take a look at this guy. Bro, do you play video games? What?
Every now and then, yeah. It's a side hobby.
You are the most terrifying. You could kill every other person in this building. Do you realize that?
I'm a gentle giant. I'm a lovely guy. If you see me, guys, feel free to say hi. I don't bite.
Okay, all right. What do you think about this tournament? Who do you want to win?
I'm loving it so far. I'm rooting for VP, boys. Let's go!
Woo! VP, boys. All right, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but we have some ladies at home, so people want to take a look. Can we get one amazing flex? You are freaking ripped, bro. Give it out. All right. Oh! Damn! And they say gamers don't got the bod. My God. All right. I'll throw it back. Red Eye, is this what you used to look like back in the 1800s? Is that what it was? Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. Having some fun out there, Jake, I tell you. See, I told you you'd have a good time with our fun English humour. Didn't believe me, but he's having a great time out of there. And as for the joke on Pyrian Flax, I think, Ted, I need to give you the floor, sir.
I didn't even hear him.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't understand
Probably
what he's saying. I don't know what language he's speaking. It's not English, I'll tell you that much. So I'll talk to him about it later and try and figure it out. Will, I could see you drooling a little bit at how buff that lad was, because I know you're trying to get in shape yourself.
Dude's an absolute
Is that
unit.
your final form?
That guy's so large.
He is. Is that what you're aiming for?
I wish.
You could aim for it. Aim for the skies, baby.
I'm not tall enough.
Come on. I think you can do it.
I believe in you.
I'm going to
I
be your
appreciate
personal
that.
mentor. I'm going to watch you become the biggest man in the world.
Thank you, Father.
Okay.
Amazing. Brilliant. Just pure love happening right here on the panel.
Hey,
Love it.
You know it.
Such a joy to be around, Ted.
Shut up and do your job.
Oh, right, sorry, yeah. I'm just mesmerised by your beauty. I'm just...
What is happening?
Yeah, I'm with Alan. What is happening?
Do I need to take over as host?
Yes, please.
Period. If you were down there, how would you
Down
replace
where?
Slacks? Like, if you were doing his job.
Oh, I couldn't do his job.
Couldn't you? What?
No, he's too good.
Is he?
He's very quick thinking. He doesn't look it,
Right.
but he has a sharp brain tucked in there. It's like a really big, ugly oyster with a pearl in the center. That's Slacks.
Right.
So, no, I couldn't do his job.
Okay, all right. Enough nonsense, ladies and gentlemen, because it is time for our quarterfinal between Fnatic and OG, and time to introduce you to both sets of teams.
Hello! Okie dokie, artichoke. All right, so we are going to be introducing the teams, and of course this is where we kind of show off what we're capable of as a UK crowd, and everyone's kind of jealous that they're not here. And it's so cool to hear you guys talking to Slacks. It's so clear that we are just grateful for this opportunity. So let's show that gratitude in raising this roof. It's Friday. You're going to be competing with Saturday and Sunday. I want to hear what Friday is capable of, because we are going to be introducing these teams, and there is so much on the line. Both of these teams were not directly invited. They battled through the qualifier. Both of these teams scalped the directed invite teams. They battled through, they find themselves here, and not only that, this game has so much on the line. We're talking potential TI hanging in the balance of this game and the eternity, the rest of the games coming up, of course, if they make it to that semi-final. Optic Gaming waiting in the wings to see who they will face, and first, it's my absolute pleasure. Please welcome to the stage, Fnatic! I guess that was the golf clap Ted was asking about. I heard that one. But you've got legendary Dota names. Dota names you've been following on your screens, you've been watching at home for years. And these players are now here in Birmingham to play their favorite video game for you guys. So please, once again, raise the roof. It's OG! They look ready to rumble, and so are you. The game is moments away. They're going to be taking to their seats and doing what they do best, and we'll go over to some others who also are waiting to watch this game and indulge in some Dota. Let's go to some familiar faces before this game kicks off.
Alex, yes, myself and Cap up here at the Vodafone View, ready to have a bit of a look-see into the upcoming series and a couple of upcoming players as well. Fnatic versus OG Cap. It's very exciting. There are a lot of key, crucial, big-name players to watch out for in this matchup, and we focus on a couple of them here for this bit of a pregame.
Yeah, let's see. I think it's pretty obvious which ones we're going to be picking out, right? It's the two superstars on each side, right? On the side of OG, you've got S4, easily one of the most talented players in the world, and pretty much anything he wants to do. Right now, it's kind of this pseudo off-lane kind of mid. It just kind of depends on what the lineup that OG drafts, facing up against Abed. I think Abed is easily one of the best mids right now.
Absolutely.
Dedicated mid player, right? So it's going to be a little bit different where you may not see these two match up against each other, all just kind of depending on what OG picks, but they are the big playmakers on the team. Abed, he managed to make these mids. He wins matchups that you just shouldn't win. You look at this guy and it's like, oh, it's the Abed factor. Like, that's why he managed to win mid, even though he's in an unfavorable matchup. So I think that these two are easily the standout players on both sides, and it's just a question of whether or not these two are going to match up against each other in the mid lane, because they also have a similar hero pool. Right?
No, exactly, and I think that's going to be a decision that OG in particular have to take coming into this game. Do you want to sort of put S4 against this incredible player that, even someone like S4, he very well may struggle in that matchup, because Arbed is, as you say, not only sort of destroying certain matchups in terms of heroes, but countless times we've seen these incredibly, the top of the top tier mids, they struggle against Arbed. There's something about this kid that it's just incredible to watch each and every time, and it's been developed. It's a kid that sort of came into the scene. Sure, at the beginning, the confidence might not have been there, but now he's starting to mature, and he is becoming this sort of wonder kid, someone that we sort of saw in the past, like with players like Samael, that you've got to be terrified if you're going up against him. He's up there with sort of the names like No One. You know, we know in a lot of teams when they go against VP. Yeah. Certain mid laners, they just don't want to play that lane. It's a lane where you could get absolutely dumpstered.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you look at the hero pool that both of these teams have adapted to in this tournament, you're talking about, well, for OG, it's been the S4 Leshrac. They have drafted that so many times, it just feels like it's one of their classic heroes, but he still has the Quap, he still has the Puck. That's a classic as well for S4. And then on the other side of the table, Abed's also been playing some of those very fast-paced heroes. We saw his Ember Spirit earlier, that managed to carry in game. We've also seen his Queen of Pain, a little bit of overlap there as well. So I would love to see one of those old school 1v1, just pure skill matchups between these two, because I think it would make for one hell of a treat.
As you say, there's a lot that we could look forward to seeing. Having a good matchup like that, having maybe something like the Arbed Invoker come through, one of his specialities that we know can have quite an incredible performance. So many things that I'm looking forward to see whatever was going to happen. We know that one of these two are going to have just these star performances. So one of those players is going to absolutely pop off here at the main stage here at ESL One Birmingham. Back over to the panel for now.
Yes, thank you very much, Owen and Cap, of course, back up there. In the Vodafone view, we're going to get into pre-match right now as well as we head towards our first draft of this second quarter-final. Alan, when you look at their hero pools, the guys mentioned it up there, they both have very deep hero pools. When you look at the last 3 months of play, it's 82 heroes chosen by Fnatic and 80 for OG. That's a deep pool for both teams.
Absolutely, and really, all of their players are fairly broad in their hero pool. There's not really one guy that you want to attack, but on the side of Fnatic, I think when you're drafting for Fnatic or when you're drafting against Fnatic, the three things that you have to worry about most are DJ, DJ, and DJ. This kid, when he gets on a hero in a situation where he can dictate the pace of the game, is absolutely incredible, can take over the game as much as any other support in the world. They are 25-5 since March 1st when he plays his Sand King or his Tusk. They're only 29-26 on all other heroes, and it's just a function of getting him into the game. On the side of OG, so glad that Cap and Owen mentioned S4. This is a guy of the 61 players with 1,000 or more career games, he has the highest win rate. Of 550 players we follow with 150 or more games, only 4 of them has a higher win rate. This guy has been doing it for so many years.
Yeah, it's incredible, Blitz, how long he has been at the top through various different iterations of teams. Obviously, the Alliance originally, then through the legendary first secret team, and now coming back with OG again.
It's like I said, I think he's one of the most talented players in the world. He's just good at everything as well. They used to tell me stories about him. They would just have him play whatever game, like a random game. He would just pick it up, be the best at it. That was like what they did in the boot camp just to kill time, was just to see how quickly S4 could get good at a game. He was almost always consistently the best at it. And it shows. When he plays Dota, doesn't matter what role he plays, what they stick him on, he's almost always going to be successful. It's so unreal how long he's been doing it for.
Yeah, he's a legend, absolute legend in Dota. I mean, it's just, I think it's hard to imagine sticking around and being at the top as long as he has and still winning. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely gone through generations, isn't he, of Dota players.
And he's a lovely guy.
Yeah,
he is a really lovely guy. Really and I wonder if that stability of personality that he's got is part of what's given him that longevity, because he never seems worried about anything. He's just the chillest dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's been cheating on his birth certificate. I think he's still 21. Even though he's been around for like 10 years.
We're just both fantasizing about being timeless, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, and he's joined on this OG squad by this No-Tail Fly duo. 905 career wins. You know, the next closest is over 200 behind, Ake and Loda. I mean, these guys have been doing it together since the old days with Fnatic, and just playing entertaining brands of Dota in every meta.
Yeah, and still searching for the ultimate goal wheel, which is the international. That's what I remember Johan, I met him for the first time 5 years ago, and he said to me, all I want to do is win an international. Just want to win a TI. Don't care about anything else. And it's still the same goal, isn't it?
They've won enough majors, I think, that they're kind of okay.
But he still wants a TI.
Just
Doesn't
wants a
matter how
TI.
many.
They should be incredibly proud of what they've done.
Yeah,
because it is unbelievable.
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
But they do want to bounce back.
But
I know
I
they're
understand.
very hungry right now. I think they would rather. I think last year, No Tail said to me, we'd swap all the majors if we could just win one TI.
Yeah.
Like, we'd rather have a season where we were really bad the whole season and then we won a TI. Is this that season, Will?
Potentially, but it also brings me back to something that Pycat said once. He said, I think it's more impressive what OG did in their previous seasons, more so than winning a TI. Like being able to win those 2 majors back to back consistently. They did it in 2 different seasons.
When
he thinks that
everybody
was
is
harder.
watching every replays of yours, you go into every event with the target on your back and you still win.
Yep. That first ban of Leshrac, not a surprise.
Yeah, the S4 of Leshrac, 12-5 over the last 5 patches. It is their most picked hero as a team.
Yeah. Conquer second round, and not many teams are letting the Wisp through at all against any team
Yeah, I think
right now.
Wisp is, this word is obviously a loaded term, but I think Wisp is utterly broken right now in the game. I also really like this approach from OG going after the Warlock. This is a hero that Fnatic has abused to stabilize very greedy safe lane supports. You saw them play it with a Spectre in the safe lane against EG. You've seen them play it in this tournament. I like that ban a lot.
AUI there. Another good guy there. He is a lovely guy as well.
Should mention, he just replaced Adam343 as a coach, and I as much respect as I have for Adam, he is a terrific guy and incredibly knowledgeable. He knows all these guys. He's their friend. He's from the region. I think that this is a team that needed that fresh voice.
They're also very good at theory crafting. I don't know if you ever spent any time with Owie and Envy at the same time in the same room.
Yes.
It's an incredible conversation. You could just sit there for hours and listen to them theory crafting about this combination of heroes or this type of draft.
Yeah, I think
it's fascinating listening to it.
I think you add Bulba to that mix and you have the 3 best theory crafters in the world, honestly.
Get them in the room, they'll never stop talking about Dota.
I think some of these guys treat it like a puzzle that couldn't be solved.
Yes.
You know, it's like there must be a solution to this, and they're always still looking for it.
Yeah.
Because of the way Dota changes, you feel like it's an insoluble puzzle, but I think they enjoy that because it means you can keep trying to solve it.
Yeah, it's a rotating 6 billion puzzle piece.
A Rubik's Cube where new pieces get added, and it changes shape, and it grows and grows.
Yes.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter because the challenge is still there. So what's the first pick this time round, Will?
It's open-ended. You can take the bounty, the SK, or the clockwork. That's been Fnatic has been pretty consistent in picking one of those 3. Like they leave it open though.
I would add Tusk to that mix, even though he's fallen off quite a bit lately. I think he's value enough for DJ, but yeah, very much agree with Will's first 3.
Yep. And in terms of the response from OG, what are you expecting to pick together?
So does the clock.
Yep.
And so for OG, I don't know. I think Sand King is a good option when you see the Clockwork opener as a matched 4. Because you have a good idea of how Clockwork works. Like this hero, if you place 4 off lane, you want heroes, or you want cores that don't necessarily just die to him walking at you.
Yeah. The other hero I'd throw in there is the Gyrocopter that they picked up a lot during the first phase. Wisp is off the board as we expected.
Wow.
Lone Druid, okay. Yeah, this is quite a throwback.
So they do grab at the SK too. Like when you see a hero like Clockwork, if you think he's going to be in the 4 position role, which is likely, right? You want a hero that can match his tempo. And most of the time, Clockwork beats all 4 position heroes because he just runs at you with battery assault and boots, and he's going to win. He's going to cogs you in and you're going to die. But Sand King actually can't die to him. He's going to always be able to stun out.
Yeah.
He's got better solid initiation. Doesn't really mind the tempo, the pace. He's able to keep up with the mid ganks.
Yep. And OG did run 2 Lone Druid games in the group phase at MDL. One win against IG Vitality and a loss to Secret. And both times they first picked it.
So they take the Underlord, and this is a hero that it's really scary to pick just because nowadays everyone counterpicks you. Like there's so many different ways to deal with it, but when you represent that you're going to pick the Lone Druid early on, it's a little bit more safe because you're okay with the matchup.
Wait, how do you beat Underlord? Tell me the secret.
You can take Monkey King.
I can't play Monkey King.
You can't play.
Oh, sorry, Will, I forgot. Pyrian's here for his own
Yeah, no, I'm just on research for my
Exactly.
religion.
He wants to learn how to get better in the game, Will, if you could just help him out.
You can take Slark. You just want heroes that just get on top of him and hit him and can trade hits with him.
I'm not a very good slot. What else have you got?
Life Stealer?
Okay, sweet. Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay, cool.
Are we good now, Ted?
Yep. Carry on.
So once you see the enemy safe laner, you get a decent matchup. It's okay.
How you guys doing? Doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to probably see the other support from OG to open the second phase.
They've been favouring a lot of Witch Doctor lately.
Yeah, that's...
unusually, because the other teams seem to have gone away from that. Why do you think that is?
The nerf to Maledict.
Yeah.
Screwed that hero up.
But OG seem to say, screw that, we're quite happy with him.
Oh, he's good. I think that you need a setup stun. Like, you don't want to be the lead stun with Witch Doctor. If you've got a Sand King, and you've also got Lone Druid Root, right? So there's some kind of setup that they've got to get a nice Maledict off and then click people down. But the change was that when Maledict got nerfed, it made it harder to just bully the hell out of people in lane in those early few levels.
Yeah, it definitely dropped off in every other team. It just seems specifically there are a couple of teams, OG being one of them, that still pick it regardless.
Yeah, the other hero that I would expect on both sides is the Disruptor. I think the Clock Disruptor combo, which I believe Will brought up, brings a lot to the table in a lot of these games. It's going to be there for Fnatic if they want it.
You've also got the Pit set up for the Disruptor ult for free.
Oh, that's true.
It's a nice combo. Disruptor's just a great hero all around.
I actually think OG pick it right here. You got to know if you don't pick it, you're giving it up.
Phoenix.
Oh, that's not the hero I expected.
That's a new hero. I don't think we've had a Phoenix yet so far in this tournament. Not from memory anyway. Let's have a look. We have.
Is there some reason, Will, that Phoenix has value against Underlord?
Sunray.
Yeah, the big percentage-based damage, is that it?
Yeah, it's nice for the heal on the bear too.
Okay.
I'm interested to see if Fnatic take Weaver for Envy, because I saw him play it a few times at Dream League. I don't know if he's played it since, but the Geminate is good against the Egg, so that's a possible counter.
Now, Fnatic, you also go way back in time, and Envy used to play a lot of Ursa.
Yep, no picks for Ursa so far here at ESL One Birmingham. Only the one pick on the Weaver as well.
I like that.
Very underutilized.
I like the Will's point that, you think about Sunray, people used to pick Phoenix against Lone Druid, right? Because of the percentage-based damage against the bear, but the same principle applies with the heal, and you get a lot of damage against Underlord, but you have to know when you pick that Phoenix that you're giving up Disruptor. Like, that's 100% Disruptor pick there, and that means that the Phoenix positioning is very, very important in these fights.
I wonder if you take something like Void. That was OG's old school combo.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Amaneski, or not Amaneski, Vanilla Major.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Because a lot of the stuff, besides the obvious combo, a lot of the stuff that has attack speed that can kill the egg really fast gets really, really hurt by the Chronosphere, like your Ursas, even your Plinkses.
Was that Manila Major? Wasn't that?
Wasn't
that the Sunray good hero meme?
I don't remember.
As in that spell was just worth on its own.
Yeah, it was the single most broken spell in the game for a while.
It was great. I didn't go there to cast. I went there as a coach for Liquid. There's like every single game, I just see a Phoenix and a Void on the other team on OG, and I'm just like, oh, well, guess that's that.
Yeah, it was intense back then.
DK.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good pick by OG, because I think Fnatic probably would have picked it if they didn't. Because DK, Underlord gives you very, very strong tower defense, and then DK gives you the ability when you win the fight, you push on the opponent's side of the map.
I think Fnatic, you have options. You can take a hero like Slark right now, and you'd be really happy about it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Slark is good here for some of the same reasons that he was good in the first game.
You can leap out of the cogs, right? Leap out of the cogs.
It's leap out of that. Well, it's your own cogs, but the big idea is.
Oh,
right,
I thought you were talking about OG taking, but yeah, Fnatic.
No, I like Fnatic. Yeah, Slark for Fnatic here. You were talking about Fnatic, right, Will?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see how OG would fit in a Slark with their team.
Yeah,
Easy.
you just see these.
lane.
Yeah. You see these like tanky
Lone Druid
cores.
mid.
Oh boy.
Ooh, that sounds sick, Ted.
We have seen Lone Druid mid.
Keep hitting him with these strats.
Okay.
I think Lifestealer or Slark would be, well, Lifestealer's banned.
Yeah.
So probably Slark.
I still think you could pick a Razor here, maybe. For Envy.
I would take like Slark or Ember if you know that you're going to be against the DK mid.
I like Ember a lot. That's fairly standard for Fnatic as well to save Abed's pick for fifth.
Oh, they think
Oh, Envy Morphling, okay. No IO on board this time, so no killing the throne through backdoor protection.
Yeah, but still the potential for walking around with max agi and get blown up.
I think a lot of the same principles that make it a good Slark game make it a pretty decent Morphling game as well, right?
I think so. The best part about Morph is when you can get him like a decent early laning phase, and he just gets to get an Aquila early on.
Exactly.
You get early levels of Morph, you hit your level 5, level 6, then you can trade with the enemy offlaner more efficiently than he can trade with you.
Yeah, and it also it means that you can punish the enemy team very severely for leaving that lane. Like if they rotate out of that lane, you can bring down that tower very, very quickly with full Agi and Aquila.
So for OG, they banned the Razor?
They banned the Razor. So that's something I thought Fnatic might pick up fourth and still would have fit their lineup picking it fifth. Now, the only thing I'll say here is that Fnatic has fell into this trap in the last 2 games that we saw them, picking a hero for Envy that scaled and putting Abed mid on a Razor or Viper. And I know they value Viper a lot, particularly against the lone Druid because of the percentage, again, the percentage they ban. I love that. I'm so glad they went away from it. Oh. Beautiful.
Yeah, so you see the DK, there's not a lot of hard disable. It's an easier Ember game to play for too.
Yeah.
I thought they would take it fourth though, just because you already see the enemy mid matchup. I would have been okay with Ember or, what was the other hero?
Slark.
Yeah, I would have been okay with Ember or Slark there.
No, but I think this is fine. And on paper, you look at those and you say, oh gosh, that's really 2 very greedy farming cores at 1 and 2. But I think when you look at the 3 through 5 positions of Fnatic, you're going to be the one dictating the tempo of this game.
Yeah, I wonder what you take here as OG. They've done a lot with the Lone Druid recently. They've taken Enigma as their offlaner too. You could grab something. You need something with a hard lockdown though. Enigma, Void.
Go back to Void, unfortunately. I think that's by far your best option. And you need, what do you have right now through BKB? Well, I guess you have Egg and Root to lock down through BKB, but you gotta expect this Ember and this Morphling.
I just think you want a strong jump hero right now to follow up.
Yeah.
What do you think? Otherwise, Sand King jumps in and that's it?
Yeah.
It's not enough?
It's just not enough. I mean, he can't hit 4-man burrow strikes. Like,
I think Sand King 2 works really nicely when you get the counter initiate.
Yes.
The way that your ulti works. Like you want somebody to run in front, start the fight, which I guess DK does too. And then you get to come in with this epicenter, get a really
hit them
clean
while
stun.
they're going for the eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they picked up 10 different heroes in their last pick for the last 10 games. Played a really wide range of heroes as well. From Storm to Sven to Void to Lesh to Queen of Pain, which is one of them. But is that the right pick for this draft?
I do not like this OG draft. I think Queen of Pain gets Searing Chains and she's in a great deal of trouble.
Wonder if they do offlane DK.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
All good questions that we'll have to find out as we head into the game. But very quickly, let's go down the line. Alan, which way?
This OG draft is about the lanes, but I don't think they're going to get enough of an advantage. Fnatic.
Very Flax.
I'm going to have to go with OG, just because I like their draft better. Heroes I like. OG.
Okay. Will?
I'll go with Fnatic.
Okay, all right. Mixed bag of predictions here on the panel as we head into game number 1, ESL One Birmingham. Enjoy, it's Fnatic versus OG.
OG versus Fnatic, game 1 of this best of 3. I'm Toby1, and I am here alongside Purge. We're hoping for a terrific game of Dota. The draft has already been done. Fnatic, it looks good, it looks strong, it looks evasive, it looks slippery. And OG, what does it look like, Kevin?
Well, it's a little hard to see what they're going for. They're trying something a little new with the Phoenix. It's not something that is out of their realm. Going back many years when they've won majors, Phoenix was one of those staples, but he is not a hero that is often touched by other teams. But at least they do have some of their other comfort heroes. S4 and Dragonite is pretty solid. Big Daddy No Tail playing Lone Druid here.
Yeah, can we actually have a closer look at that Lone Druid too? They picked it up in the first phase of their draft. They were very confident grabbing something like this. And they had it even like before, like we had the camera view, which actually panned around the back of it, and you can see them just having it there at the very beginning of the selection. So how does it work with his kind of timing, with No Tail's role in this game as Lone Druid?
Well, typically what he does is he just goes into his lane matchup wherever it ends up being, either mid or safe, and then he goes for something like a Helmet Dominator. He gets a lot of other aura items, and he kind of just provides some tower pushing and some lane stability and that kind of a thing. But this game, we might do something different. We started with a Wraith Band, which is a little bit atypical, so there's a possibility we might see a ranged Lone Druid here, which could create a different balance than what we're expecting to see.
OG are looking for that first blood, and they're probably going to get a Pylai die. Burrow Strike is out. Fly holding his ability point for now, as Seb, he just wants the last hit with the extra help of S4, who move forward. That is a guaranteed kill for OG, spilling first blood.
And they get the D ward because of this. A big gold advantage here going to Seb, but he's actually going to hold it for now. They might try to save this until later so that they can deny with a tango.
No, he ended up just using the Quelling Blade and got rid of it. Doesn't want to wait any longer.
Yeah, he realized that if somebody comes by during the laning stage and just attacks it once, it's denied anyway. So he actually just has to kill it now no matter what. But he was hoping to get a double tango out of it.
I'm still waiting for that efficiency where you leave these type of things behind just an extra couple of seconds, or past a point so you get the extra cash for it. Just like we were talking with the bounty runes earlier today.
I don't know if that would have given him the
for the
advantage.
+3, man.
He could, that was 10 seconds more blocking, so I don't know if that's worth it, but it's a good attempt at least.
Well, the block actually got lost by EE, so that one range creep's going to put the creep wave right on the foot of S4, but S4, nice to see him in mid as the DK. Pylai die, and EE is going to try and zone him out as quick as they can.
Yeah, so they do end up pushing the lane a little bit, accidentally missing the block, but they've got this dual lane mid, so it's not really going to be the most typical lane matchup here. Dual lane on the top lane as well. It's Ember Spirit with Clockwork versus a Quap Sand King.
They're trying to burn off all that mana of Seb, but Jirax will be the other harasser. Down on bottom lane is the other point of attention, which is Universe's Underlord.
Is he?
Wow.
Instantly dead? Wow, he was at like half HP. Jirax comes forward, lands a stun, and then they just right-clicked him like 3 times.
Yeah, you didn't even have the burst damage yet. Like, Seb went for the Shadow Strike level 1, so Arbed, this is not the start that Fnatic wanted to have. 2-0 now for OG. They take the first blood, and they take the safe lane core.
Yeah, it's something really nice about Queen of Pain in the offlane. She just has a really good animation, a really good nuke harass. I mean, Abed can try to dodge the dagger by using Sleight of Fist, but it's very difficult to do, and if he's not successful, he loses a lot of health.
And that's exactly what's happened. He leveled it up at the very beginning, doesn't have it. Pylai die, and DJ now on the top lane to protect Abed.
He does have a ton of regen though, 2 mangoes and 3 sets of regen, so he was probably just getting a little bit ahead of himself, thinking that he was fine, but he was at half HP. They took the opportunity and they get a huge kill.
Jirax, Mango, being popped by Pylai die, allows him to put the wall on top, but Jirax will just Burrow Strike away. So consumption is going to be high for Fnatic on this top lane to keep the aggression up.
It'll be fine though. I mean, they've already got a kill. That's the second of their team. They've got a 1k gold advantage already. That's huge for them. 10 last hits on Dragonite somehow, despite being dual lane mid. Good for S4.
It was the panel were praising him before. This is just a guy who's just great at games in general, but that's why it's kind of nice to see him in that mid role.
Yeah, the only lane that's not last hitting well is the off lane for OG. Seb's only 2 and 3 with the Sand King God getting 1 last hit, so that lane's not going so great.
Universe getting a bit of a tan with that Phoenix.
That's actually one of the interesting things about Phoenix this game, is that it is a 2v1 lane, and that makes Phoenix more effective as a hero. Whereas normally you're fighting a support or something and things don't go so well. But I think Fnatic maybe was thinking, all right, we'll just lane the Disruptor mid with the Morphlings, that we can pressure Dragonite more, and make sure that Morphling has a better game. And at the same time, Underlord's going to be fine because it's just a Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix can't zone him out. That's the reason why you see no escape, no Icarus dive required. Top lane, Burrow Strike is out. Once again, Arbed forced back a long way. Shadow Strike was on cooldown for Seb, so Arbed able just to salve up and get back into the lane.
So while it gives him the ability to do this dual lane mid, the other issue is that Phoenix also has a game. Like, Phoenix doesn't care if he doesn't zone a hero. He just wants to limit their farm a little bit, get some pulls off, get some levels, and then Phoenix can be a normal hero. But if he's forced to like trade hits with enemies or try to dual lane or tri-lane, it just can go really bad. So the fact that S4 is still getting super competitive last hits in this match, and Phoenix is going to have a decent start, I think this is a great start for OG.
Yep. This allows Fly to have that freedom you're talking about, but it's also the fact that Notel, with the extra cover behind, are you able to just rush up big item? Because I'm looking right now and he's going for the Dominator. Yep. Do you try and go Radiant style bear? Where do you put that money? Where do you put that investment of space for Notel?
Yeah, well, Radiance is an option here. I guess I'm not really sure how comfortable they feel with it. The Fnatic cores are very good at diving the backline, and if you go range Lone Druid, that can be a huge issue. But the fact that he picked up an Aquila first makes me feel like that's going to be the build, because it's not like you want to transfer your Aquila over onto your Bear. He might also just be thinking, it's going to accelerate my farm, gives armor to my Bear, this is what I need for now.
It allows him to force the lane on bottom too, because he's already at the tier 1 tower. Envy's moved in towards the mid. He's got himself a nice blue glow, more than the Morphling normally has. Double damage rune. Envy waveforms up, and S4 cannot survive. The adaptive strike puts him down.
Really nice BKB, or double damage to grab in the laning stage like that. And they secure that big kill, so tough for S4. But he's almost level 5 at least. He's super tanky. Just a little bit of a nice
DJ's
rune.
in trouble. Burrow Strike is there. That's a level 1 Shadow Strike only, but kind of locks himself inside the cogs. Blink and Scream of Owl, so DJ stands his ground, tries to work with Arbed to get him the kill into GRX with a rotation to Pylai Die. They can make it work. Pylai's last attack flies across the trees and gets the kill and forces the retreat off the Queen of Pain.
That's still too bad for OG there. It kind of seemed like, did Sand King, oh, they had a sentry down that they used to D-ward. That's actually a little unlucky there for OG. Jerks goes for the Sandstorm, thought he was going to be fine, but when he realized he was being attacked, he was kind of just committed. He'd have to do a right click, so just a little unfortunate for him. Queen of Pain not able to secure that kill either, so off lane is going all right. 16 last hits now for him, which is very close to the 17 of Abed.
Yeah. It is kind of funny though when you look at the counter, like you get those searing chains off on Seb, he gets in trouble, but holds the blink. Very, very patient as Pylai Die was willing to glimpse him straight back in if he blinked early.
And DJ missed his cogs push, though. If he was able to land that, it would have disabled Seb for just a little bit longer, and they might have been able to secure the kill.
That's a big creep wave on bottom lane coming towards the tower. Disruptor's going to have to TP down for this too. Universe has been abandoning that bottom lane, just looking to try and farm up inside the jungle instead, but this is that type of pressure early on that gives you the extra cash, even forcing Pylai back underneath the tier 2 tower. The wall will come up, and Notel, he feels very happy out here with the entangle. Pylai will fall. Universe will begin the TP, but it was a little too early. He hadn't finished his regeneration yet, and Notel, he wants to keep the pressure onto Universe. The bottom tower, they already have to fortify for it.
Look at this advantage. I mean, what other hero can do this other than Lone Druid here? He got a little bit lucky there with the ensnare, and all of a sudden he kills the squishy low armor support, and he's just going to pressure and kill this tier 1 tower instantly in this game.
Yep, Universe wants to try and stop this. You can bring in more support, can't TP and Pylai Die, but they'll walk him in on the Raptor. Notel again getting in very deep. That's the reason on the Bear, another route onto Pylai Die. It's just not his day, but when DJ rotates over, this is huge for Notel, because he'll go down. The tower does go down to the catapult of the Radiant side, but there's no resummon on that Bear for a minute and a half.
It's a glimpse for sure.
But you do take the tier 1 tower. Yeah, there's no way for Fly to survive. Icarus dive out, has the stick charges, will even start to salve. Fly will survive when the rocket goes off target as well. They can't even cancel the salve.
Wow, that was such a good play by Fly. He baits out the glimpse, I believe, just by starting the TP, but that was a waste because then it allows him to dive away. Like, just super sick play there by Fly.
Still going to be a rough lane for them. So 66 seconds before you're able to get the Bear back up. So Universe can feel a little bit more confident on the bottom. But as you mentioned, Lone Druid going to go for more of the single build, the range Druid build, as opposed to Bear for now.
Everybody on Fnatic rotating around, but Jerix has got a great ward down. Spots the rotation from Disruptor. Clockwork's in position. They don't see him necessarily, but they may realize shortly. Oh yeah, they've got a second ward now spotting him, so they know where everybody is here.
Yep.
They could maybe try to get a kill here, but it's going to be a counter initiation by Jerix for that to work.
Clock shows himself, walks straight past it. They realize this isn't on. They look for the 8-minute runes instead. So Fly is watching the bottom. No more double damage rotating in. Oh, I say that. It's actually a double damage for Envy, but it may be too late. The clockwork, Pilot Eye was moving down the river. So he'll end up going down. But more fling, a double damage rune on Envy. Already been rather successful this game, not to mention this whole tournament.
It's not a bad moment for OG. They're just about 2K up right now. Seb is level 6 in the offlane, so any of these ganks that happen, he can definitely rotate for these rotations. They've got plenty of disable on their side. They just need a little bit of damage, and he's gonna be able to facilitate that once he's got his TP off cooldown.
Just drop damage coming mid. Universe mid as well, with that dragon form up. They're not really in.
He might kill Abed top. It's really close. He was very low. He might have been able to kill him right there actually with his ultimate, but
maybe waiting for the flame guard to dissipate.
Well, it does pure damage, right? So it would have cut right through him. There's a good chance he would have killed him there. And Abed's only level 5 right now, so if he doesn't pick up 6, other than Sleight of Fist dodging something, Seb should be able to guarantee this kill. So if he gets disabled right now, Abed goes down.
This may be a little bit easier kill. DJ doing his thing once more. We tried it. When he was over there underneath the sentry ward, that was when Jirax died. DJ begins the TP. They need the damage to kill him. So Seb had no other choice but to commit the Sonic Wave.
I'm a little unsure if I like that move. I really wish he would have just secured the kill on Abed instead. It's a core, it's an Ember Spirit. Getting the kill on him would have slowed him down a lot more. I mean, he still is being very zoned, and he's going to be forced to rotate out a little bit here, but either way, a successful play for OG. They're still going to control the lane, they're getting last hits, and they might be able to get a tier 1 out of it as well.
Meanwhile, while they're doing that, like the amount of pressure that Notel's applying. So Pardai shows himself. Eternal Envy arrives with a double damage rune still active. And he turns in, he takes his Hellbear, he takes his bear, his Spirit Bear, and then just goes at it. This will be an easier target if he can attack into Pilot Eye, looking to secure the 10-minute bounty runes up in 10 seconds, but Root once again, Pilot Eye just cannot catch a break. The Lone Drawer Bear will do the work. Savage Roar, Lone Drawer cannot create enough space to survive. So with the movement of Abed down, they do get the kill onto Lone Druid.
Abed going for bounty runes here. Looks like an aggressive gank, but I don't think OG's too unhappy with that either. No-Tail gains a very slight gold lead, obviously.
Hello, Universe. He's got a haste rune, so actually no, he's perfectly fine.
But he does want to get up top here, and he wants to stop this tower from being taken right now. Like, the nice thing about what No-Tail's doing is he's forcing all these Fnatic rotations to the bot lane to defend against him, just farming well and pressuring. But getting picked off is not the best thing. He did get the kill first, but
let's pull in the DK, put him inside the storm. S4 will try and tank through it, maybe with the help of the Sun Ray. No, it is still not enough from Fly. He can do some burn damage to DJ and Abed. So they have to be careful. This mid wave is now doubled up because No-Tail took the Hellbear there and actually dragged the creep wave out.
He's got to be a little careful. He's trying to get a root on Envy here. Could potentially set up a kill, but it's very burstable still, and it's going to be a while until he gets tanky. But basically, OG's just stabilizing their lanes. They've got level 6 on Phoenix as well now, so their team fight is going to be really solid.
They have the amplification too, which comes from that offlane Queen of Pain. Went for the first Adam Veil of Discord.
Cool. Yeah, it's a little uncommon right now, but for an offlane hero, I think this is fine. For mid heroes, they usually don't buy it because it's just a little bit too expensive and it doesn't amplify your ultimate, so it's just okay. But in this game, when you have a Phoenix as well, you're going to be amplifying all of that Sunray damage. Pretty much all their heroes are just super benefited from this.
Here's the smoke movement from OG. They need Jirax to connect on that stun. The target, Highlight Die, gets the wall up. Here comes Seb with the jump forward. Dragatel stun. Disruptor is removed from the fight. Abed not wanting anything to do with it, but Universe. Say hello. He comes in with the Dark Rift. That tower is within deny range, but they know also bring him in the killing range of OG. They do not take it. On bottom lane, No-Tail took the tier 2 tower. He has been continuously pressuring this lane. And I beg the question, is this the strat from OG? Always keep one player from Fnatic looking at bottom, so they're always one player down for the fights when the 4 men rotate from OG.
Well, they weren't looking bottom that time. I mean, the fact that they got the Disruptor was huge because that's the one hero that can guarantee that No-Tail gets vastly out of position for a long time, unless it's like Ember Spirit diving. And now they rotate top. If they get this kill, huge blow up, killing Abed here. Now they can push the top lane. They've still got Dragon Knight ultimate. They just got so much value out of the last 4 minutes.
Cannot believe the rotations that are just hitting the timings from OG, and it seems like Fnatic are not seeing it coming at all. And they'll see even less with these aggressive wards from OG. They have a lot of information. So harder for Fnatic to surprise him. DJ has hookshot,
Very
but he needs the range.
He's got to have vision as well. He doesn't spot anything here. And as long as No-Tail doesn't shift into his own jungle, they're not going to find him.
As No-Tail actually just puts the Satyr as well as the Spirit Bearer in front of him, he'll only hook minions.
And if anything, if we look at the dire wards right now, they're placed in positions where OG has never been, basically. They haven't really defended bottom that much, mostly because it's always been pushed out. And then they just had so much aggression going on in other places of the map that Fnatic didn't even get to cross the river. So these wards that Fnatic wanted to use weren't able to be used. And therefore, their engagements and fights are just less likely to go well. So it's maybe part of the reason OG has just been so successful with the last couple of rotations.
Looks like Fnatic are finally committing multiple resources to this bottom lane to try and catch No-Tail, but he just sits in the trees, lets the bear do the work. DJ and Pilot don't find their target, while OG, they find theirs. Fire Strike out, look at that amplification. The Ember Spirit, he's meant to be difficult to kill, but right now, it looks easy as pie.
He didn't even get his Flame Guard off, actually. That was the big move. It probably would have still died even if he does, but yeah, he's not going to be tanky for a long time, and he's not that leveled either. Level 8 at the moment. So their heroes can't stabilize their lanes, whereas on OG's side they can. An interesting build from S4 as well, picking up an Armlet this game.
Yeah. Why do you think that too? Like when you run that mid instead of going for the normal initiation we've seen from DKs?
Well,
do you like this?
I think I do, and there's a couple other alterations as well. See, he's also skipped a Soul Ring. I don't think any Dragon Knight has done that recently.
Especially when they run mids.
Exactly. They almost always get Soul Ring, just gives them more mana. But what's cool about this is that if you get Soul Ring and you get the mana perk, it actually feels like a waste. So in that sense, the other perk, the 20% breathe fire damage reduction, that's also not great. It's really good against Morphling, I suppose, but if he skips Soul Ring, he gets the mana perk, so he's covered on mana, and then he just buys a damage item to make up for the fact that this hero just doesn't do good damage otherwise. It makes a lot of sense.
It's working a charm for OG. So did the attack on bottom lane. No-Tail roared up, did a little bit of damage, almost 200 damage to that tier 3 tower, but forced all of Fnatic to come down bottom. And while that was going on, OG were TPing multiple players to the top lane. So they've taken the tier 1 tower, they have burnt up the Dragon Form, but Fnatic are looking for a kill. All they're finding are bears and satyrs. And all this information, No-Tail, we know he's a micro master. He doesn't need observer wards. All he needs to do is just have more units under his control.
He's actually just playing insane this game.
He's gonna take the 15-minute rune. Savage Roars, yeah, he gets it.
Very little loss for him there, as long as his bear, I mean, he's got a resummon even if that goes down. Man, he is actually just running circles around Fnatic so far this game. This is incredible. This is like everybody bans Lone Druid in the first phase against OG. Every game that I've watched them play of this tournament, I've seen that happen, and it makes a lot of sense right now.
Yep. They first phase, it'll be a wonderful thing to jump on for game number 2. For now, the bear is going to drop. A lot of spirits being committed by Arbed.
All 3. He's got no mana as well. Like, he actually, if there's a fight down here, he's screwed. He can't do anything. There's no arcane boots. He's actually just limited just to kill the bear. It gets resummoned, and now maybe No-Tail's gonna be able to defend it even past that.
Yeah, does OG fight it? The first EP is coming in, and then the Clockwork gonna cog up, but he's locked inside with the bear. Seb rotates over. That's a great Sonic Wave position if he wants to let it rip. For now, they're just letting DJ fight. Arbed begins his TP. Savage Roar not available, so DJ not focus onto him. Blink forward. With a bit of a Shadow Strike, DJ will tick out from this. Nothing will save him from that level of damage, even with a TP. It is not going to happen. No-Tail gets it.
Like, I can't believe what's just been happening this last 2 minutes. We're just looking down here. Lone Druid is just playing with 4 heroes. They look like they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know. They can't find pressure. They can't find opportunities.
And you see where he's only been. Like, Lone Druid has only been on that bottom lane. That heat map just shows it. There's no reason to go mid or top. It is all bottom.
If there's a heat map of his creeps, it's just the same thing, but a little bit towards the center of the map. Just constantly looking for enemy heroes. And in the meantime, S4 is getting tons of last hits, and Queen of Pain is mostly farming as well. She's already picked up a Veil of Discord and a Yule Scepter, so now she's also defensive. If she gets Static Stormed, if she gets rooted, she has some solutions.
No-Tail able to switch into a little bit more of a tankier form. Can he survive this? Needs a Savage Roar, begins the TP when they'll bring him down. Pylai die with the Storm doing the work. But the trade-off is there, so they commit multiple heroes to kill Lone Druid. That's great, but S4 is taking tier 2 tower top. And if you hang around Eternal Envy, death may be coming your way. Jirax doesn't have Blink Dagger, so close the distance is harder, but friends are on the way too. Dark Rift, Underlord arrives.
A little underwhelming, just one hero popping in, but
yeah,
and they got some tower damage, but not that much. So it does seem like a lot of this game kind of relies on whether or not No-Tail gets caught. In that engagement, he finally did get picked up, and that's part of the problem. If you play around these common ward spots, they're going to spot you, they're going to be able to outmaneuver you. Your creeps can't spot everything. So if he just stays alive, it creates all the space for where Fnatic wastes their time. If he does get caught, then all of a sudden it opens up the map in a big way, and then OG has to play defensive for a bit.
So how does it work with all the money going into Eternal Envy? He is still looking pretty good, second on the net worth. Many, many times have we seen EE being the main man of the show just because of all the farm priority that's given to him. How does he function going into these fights against OG?
Well, I think he's in a pretty good spot. I think against Lone Druid, you're happy as a Morphling once you get something like E-Blade because you can hit the backline, you can jump in and focus fire on him, try to kill him. You can waveform in and blow up the Phoenix egg. Basically, anybody that's disabled, Morphling's going to show up and deal a ton of damage. And that's why he's rushing BKB this game, because there's so many good, strong AoE teamfight things that OG has. He needs to know that he's going to be able to jump in and just do a ton of physical damage and burst somebody down when Fnatic finds an opportunity.
Fnatic are looking for that opportunity over in mid, over on bottom. There was the mid opportunity. Actually, no, they do. They rotate over, put the Storm down. They don't want Fly to have any kind of movement in here. EE knew that Jirax was looking for a kill because he walked underneath one of the sentry wards. The Fnatic placed down.
It's a decent kill, but still only a support, so I don't think OG's too unhappy with that one.
It's the money for the BKB is I think, the more critical thing for Eternal Envy. That's why he committed Waveform and Adaptive Strike to get the cash.
Gonna be coming.
Yeah, here he goes for it. In towards the mid. Support, friends. Jirax just saying hi and running away with dust in the eyes of Fnatic.
So I think part of the reason, it looked very confusing, I think part of the reason he did that was just to push the lane. Because he knows he doesn't yet have Blink Dagger, but by going for an Epicenter there with a Burrow Strike, there's like maybe a small chance, I didn't see his HP at the start, but there's a small chance that he catches him before he starts morphing. If he doesn't, maybe he kills him, but also he kills the creep wave, which means Envy has to sit there and slowly auto-attack creeps, and then eventually by the time that's finished, everyone's up, and it's not that big of a loss. So I don't think that was all too bad for Jirax. He's much closer to Blink Dagger after getting that wave, and they just create a little bit more space, and once they have Blink on Sand King, they can actually just start blowing heroes up all over the map.
That's when Envy has to really come online. The BKB is completed. Looking for Skadi as his next item after that.
Yeah, he's just going to focus on heavy physical damage, gap closing, and making sure that they kind of remain near him when he does initiate. So not so much blast build with the E-Blade.
Notel got more information. He's got no observer wards on that bottom lane, but compared to the two the Fnatic has, well, there is a resummon for it, so it's good cash, 300. Putting into the bank accounts of Arbet, they'll give him his BTs.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that one for sure. Once he finishes Boots of Travel, now he's going to be able to offset all this split pushing a little bit better. Show up to team fights. He's got a Veil of his own, so
they're smoke ganking. OG's coming down to bottom lane. Notel, Pylai die. He's hoping for the glimpse, and they've got it. The Observe Ward gave him the information. So into pair form. Lone Druid just wants to survive the Pyro's drive from Jirax, creating some space for Savage Draw. Still not enough. Seb, wild ultimate. Flies out the side. You've at least got the one kill. It's onto Eternal Envy. And then with the extra scream, the damage control on the back lines, the rest of OG want to get into this universe, wants everybody out. It's a Fnatic special. The Uber train all the way home, taking 3 players, the ones that survive from Fnatic.
Just a super sick play from Seb, actually. He jumps in and he takes advantage of the full agi from Eternal Envy. Pops his BKB, but that doesn't matter at all against Sonic Wave. And I think Envy is maybe one of the more agility morphlings that I feel like I see. He very often plays on that edge. And in that moment, his 4,000 gold item, the first thing he rushed was nullified, and his greedy playstyle was super punished. And they get more out of that as a result.
Now Blink, here we go again. Gank up all across the map is what you asked for. Jirax, he gets the epicenter off. Universe can be way too slow to get away. So another kill. Seb jumps in for the Securus, the Queen of Pain style.
So Phoenix really working out well. I mean, the Fly's 1-1-5 at the moment. Sunray is just always going to be good against high HP heroes like Underlord because it does more damage as he gets higher in health. And it took a lot to kill that guy, but they didn't even have the Veil there. So, I mean, if you can deal with Underlord like that, if he doesn't ever feel comfortable pushing out a lane because he knows he's going to get chain stunned for 5 seconds with a ton of damage, then all of a sudden it just limits what Fnatic can do, and they're going to feel forced to 5-man more often. If OG doesn't have that same weakness themselves, then they're just constantly going to feel better about pushing lanes.
Why do I just feel like OG feel better about every single lane? Notel pushes slightly near the river line, and Fnatic commit 2 TPs to come down to the bottom lane to try and catch him out. Yes, there's no tier 1 tower. There's still the shrine to TP down to, but it's the space that's being created with Jirax pushing out top. He already had the Blink Dagger. You can start adding the Force Staff quickly into his inventory. The Blink Dagger's on DK, so initiation arrives on that front.
I mean, most of this just feels so good for OG because No Tail's dodged so many of these rotations. They've been controlling the jungle as well. I mean, he's only died, I think, he's got 4 deaths here, but it feels like there's only been like 2 really crucial catches that have been not worth it.
They're jumping in, Blink Dagger with the stun. They want Disruptor gone. Eternal Envy's BKB. He's doing the damage right now to S4. The Root will control him. Pylite die. The Sonic Wave doesn't spill out to the back, so he'll end up surviving. While Fnatic, they will try and make it too. Jirax glimpse back into the fight. So it will, in fact, be the first reveal of the Blink Dagger. OG won the quick kill, and Fnatic responded very quickly.
Yeah, it was actually a really sick fight from Envy there. He jumps in instantly, he turns into Dragon Knight, and all of a sudden Dragon Knight's countered because he went Armlet first for the damage, then he went a Blink Dagger, and it allowed him to initiate. But with Morphling responding so fast there, he instantly transforms, stuns the Dragon Knight back, and then Dragon Knight just has to sit under a Static Storm with Armlet on for like 10 seconds. It was just a little bit too fast of a reaction, and the BKB from Morphling really paid off there.
Yep. That's exactly what Fnatic needed to relieve some of this pressure. It's been going up for OG with gold and experience. The graphs start to angle a little bit further back down again. That's a sharper angle on the experience graph. But things can start to balance out, and this is that space to create. I heard the word greedy as far as the 2 cores of Fnatic are Universe. He's heading down south. They're looking to try and find this one. They glimpse fly back over. Pardai does not have the storm control. Hook shots off cooldown in 1 second time. So DJ ready to jump. The Jirax, Burrow Strike, Sunray, Arbed wants to help him out, but DJ, too much of a tan. The attack, he's burning out. The Urn Charge will do the final bit of the work while Universe stranded. Playing King of the Hill does not help you here. The rest of his teammates will have to abandon. 2 heroes will go down for Fnatic after such a great fight in mid.
Fly played that really well there. He knew that the Static Storm wasn't up because it was just used in the mid lane. He did not have to egg, he did not have to panic or anything like that, and just a little bit of an over chase there by Fnatic to try to follow up on that.
They're going Roshan, OG, they want to secure the first Aegis of this game.
It's a great opportunity. Dead Underlord, so they've got no Pit of Malice, they've got no Firestorm, they have no Crimson Guard Pipe. Those are huge items.
No hookshot and Clockwork either to try and spoil the day.
That's a great
But
point.
you have Ember Spirit, you have Morphling, these BKBs. Well, I say these BKBs, 1 BKB is up. Sleight of Fist to begin with, the bear is low, Fly's giving its life back over, Blink Dagger, forward in from S4, and they'll actually get the Disruptor this time. They worked so hard to get that last time with the Burrow Strike from Jirax. It actually gets the perfect stun, Envy up the hill, he'll get the BKB off.
Very close. Grabbing that Envy kill would have been huge, but either way...
Oh, Seb, too close. Your Seb is up, but S4 initiates. It was almost a trap with the Sonic Wave connecting. Eternal Envy, he wants to jump back out of this one. Waveform will help him do so. As Phoenix resets the Nova, goes full duration.
They poke just a little bit, but either way, they're still going to feel happy. They just got like kill after kill after kill.
DJ's got Hawk, but he's right underneath the Radiant Observer Ward. They see him so clearly. Burrow Strike in, the tick damage is there. DJ, rather tanky, who had a hook shot out towards the Ogres. And this allows OG to claim the Aegis of the Immortal. They'll put it into Seb's hands.
They're just getting everything they want out of this. They're playing amazing on OG's side. Just instantly coming out of the pit when it's the right time, going back in, spreading their heroes there to grab the Clockwork. It's like they're mindful of every single cooldown on the enemy team and moving across the map accordingly.
Yeah, this is a great sign if you're an OG fan, seeing such life and coordination and precision coming out from this lineup. I'm feeling even just happier to watch Notel play a hero where I'm like, man, this guy's really talented as a player, can showcase this talent.
And you know he's having a great time doing it too.
Oh yeah.
This is one of his favorite heroes for sure.
He was dancing as he was walking through the crowd up towards the stage. They were smiling, they were laughing, and this is going to be a confident OG, a very scary thing.
So there's a couple of interesting item possibilities coming up. Well, I guess I didn't even realize that this was on the radar, but S4 did have BKB in the last fight, and he's now 1700 gold towards his next item. That means this is going to be a carry Dragon Knight for sure.
He needs heals, he needs some time outside of this storm. He gets it off, Blink Dagger and Aegis. Can he get out in time? Nope, Universe already has the Pit of Malice down, but actually, friends, they're coming from both sides. That's a double damage morph again. No, just waves in, turns in towards the Queen of Pain, and goodbye, Seb.
That was a really good play there by Envy. He used super strength morph in anticipation of approaching there. They knew they're out of disable, so he guaranteed the long duration stun. Really nice. I do think Seb should have probably used a bit earlier there to stop some of the damage, but I think he was anticipating that he would get Pit of Malice or some other disable afterwards, and just slightly out-mind gamed him.
Yep. Well, Fnatic, downside about their lineup, they are really terrible at pushing. Morphling at least can clean up creep waves, but The Ember Spirit and beating into towers is a lot harder. Blink Dagger towards the north. He already had the strength up. There's 2.9k HP on a Morphling, but Waveform TP away will mean that OG feel a little bit more confident on that top lane.
Sort of just doing this to be annoying, more or less. And across the map, OG just continues to spread out, get the things accomplished that they need to. I really do like the BKB rush from Lone Druid here. It kind of just allows him to do what he was doing before, but there's so much less threat of him just easily being killed by a glimpse, for example. He's going to have to trade these charges often in these early fights, but as he transitions into items that actually do something, such as the Maelstrom that he's going to pick up next, it's going to still allow him to be pretty independent and look for enemy heroes. It's one of the really nice things about this ranged Lone Druid thing. If he's farming Lone Druid with like the Spirit Bear having a Radiance hypothetically, the Bear always has to be where the creeps are, and that's not where the heroes are going to be. So this way, he gets to hit creeps with his hero, and his Bear gets to look for danger.
Yeah. I also love too, he's holding on to the Santa Banisher. Like, makes it a little bit more difficult for Fnatic to have a fight, especially when, okay, Pilot Eye will see it. No attack back. Top tier 2 tower will be lost for Fnatic. They have no desire to fight into this. Yeah, maybe Ember Spirit, Searing Chains, but then Savage Roll. Bear gets a swipe, and DK's already starting his TP. Arbeb, do you have a way out of this one? Sleight of Fist? Okay, well, you can send back the DK. That'll work. Disruptor's still in range, so DK's on top lane once more.
That's nice, nice move there by Pilot Eye. They didn't want to commit the BKB. There was a chance they could get the kill on Ember Spirit, but he gets back, and now they're just going to kind of resume the split pushing that they're already accomplishing. And luckily for OG, they didn't overcommit to this.
Right now, I'm seeing Fnatic actually committing abilities just to try and kill off that Santa Banisher because they're not finding heroes in the right, well, out of position.
I mean, that's 200 gold. That's 2/3 of a bear. That's a lot of money. They'll be happy with that.
Arbed, Epicenter, preps up from Jarix, and that Burrow Strike forward, Zep Sonic Wave, and they just go through him.
That was very close, man. He was about to jump away if he had a Remnant. Yeah, he did have a Remnant down, actually. I feel like I even saw his hero turn just a little bit, but just enough damage, gets the kill. Veil helping out with that one as well, and more items are to come here. They've got the Ultimate Orb. There's Seb's 500 gold from a Hex, and this is like terrible territory to be in as an Ember Spirit.
And they're getting more cash because they keep bringing down these buildings. DJ cogs up, locked inside with a bear. No tells nearby, but it's Jurix Burrow Strike finding Pilot Eye. The TP out will not be successful. They send him up in the air just in time. So DJ, his TP, won't be successful. He'll go down. The one that is out is Pilot Eye.
Man, they're just super outmaneuvering Fnatic now. They're getting pressure on the enemy heroes. They're avoiding ganks and keeping their cores alive, and they're just moving. They're just dominating the middle part of the map.
They've taken all outer towers within 30 minutes, have reached a 10,000 gold advantage.
The Hex is ready if they can find Envy here. He's got Linken's though, so it's going to be a little bit tough to break it.
They're going to crack it. Well, they still got the Hex off. Follow up Dragon Tail stuns, and all that BKB immunity which Eternal Envy wants, he can use right now. Waveform's down, but DK stays with him. They have the damage available, but maybe not. Strength Morph up to 3k. That's a lot to get through. And OG, they know they want it. It would have been huge if they did, but still, they're pushing the mid lane. They forced so much defensiveness from the Morphling. They're taking time to reset Fnatic.
Because he doesn't have BKB, this does give them a little bit of a moment of pressure, but I don't think they want to super commit. They're just going to do a little bit of the split push thing. No-Tail hits top a little bit. He'll run away now. Maybe wait to re-engage. He's still got BKB as well.
It's the OG special attack from multiple sides. Top as well as mid, and Fnatic have to make the choice, like how do they defend this?
It's so hard, and they just keep the mobile heroes in the middle. Queen of Pain's between both lanes, the Phoenix is between both lanes. That means whoever gets gone on, and Sand King as well. They've just got these two cores that push buildings, all the mobile people stand in the middle, and they can always react to what happens. It's such a cool playstyle here.
And they're already out. TP away to safety, DK goes to fix up the bottom lane. The catapults were hitting it, so the tier 2 tower is within deny range. But considering the control that OG have got over this map, they do not need to deny this. They can just keep that bottom lane pushed out. It's been the home of No-Tail for so long. Glimpse, pulling back SK. Oh, the hook shot, it actually connected, but Chirac's able to blink and burrow away to safety out of range of DJ before the damage can connect.
I think he just Burrow Strike dodged that Glimpse, I'm pretty sure. I don't even think he used Blink there. That was just perfect timing.
I love to see it in slow motion. I think what he was able to do was actually Burrow Strike in and then blink out before the damage connected from Clockwork Hook. And yeah, okay, so let's see it again. So Blink comes off, is actually put on cooldown by Pilot Eye. Glimpse comes in and Burrow Strikes out, but what the hell did the hook connect onto?
Okay, so basically the Sand King Burrow Striked on the ground, and while he was traveling from the Glimpse point to there, that's where the Clockwork Hook hit. But he was basically under the ground, so the hook shot connected, but Sand King still goes to his end position. That's why I dodged the glimpse, because he always goes to his end position at the end of that burrow strike. So.
Thank you, Dota 2 mechanics, and thank you, Purge.
That was a weird instance for sure, but successful escape there, and that might give them a little bit more space. Another failed gank for Fnatic, another bit of wasted time, and their cores keep getting farther and farther ahead. Dragonite's getting very close to his Orchid finishing. Quap is now ready for his 4th item, which he's going to begin working on.
His BKB as well as his final item.
It's time. I mean, he's got a way to disable and gank heroes. He's got a second way to break Lincolns now with the Yules first. So everybody on Fnatic's side is vulnerable. The only one that's not as vulnerable is Underlord, but we've already seen they've got enough damage, they've got enough mobility, they can pile on this guy and kill him if they really need to.
Yeah, but Underlord is that big one. So when Fnatic grouped up together, they have the ability to survive. You've got double BKBs on the core, so Ember Spirit's now finished up his 10-second BKB. You've got the full Crimson Guard pipe as well as mech on the Underlord. So it's a lot of sustain that he can give his entire team, not just himself. Pylai die, TP won't be successful. The Observer Ward saw around the tree line.
That was sick, dude. Well, that was the only way they get that kill. The Disruptor's HP was a little too high, so what Jarek did was force the Dragonite, get him in range of the stun so he doesn't have to commit his ultimate, and they get another kill. But Pylai died feeling like, I need to get some wards on the map. He got out of the base, he got some wards down, but he does end up dying for it. That's 25 seconds without a Disruptor. So more lane push is what they're going to trade this for. And
here
we'll
they
see
come.
If they hit some buildings here.
Lone Druid in through the top. Dragon form for the mid. Now Sparkle the Bear with the Mjolnir. And the Dragon is just destroying the mid lane. No fortification of L for the dire side. They'll buy back on Disruptor. The Hex already being committed into Universe. Speaking of him, he actually burns his Crimson Guard too, but TK does not care. Maybe he will care a little bit more. Hookshot, they force-staff him into the Cogs, but with that Sun Ray, no, the Cogs pushing back. Fly came a little bit too close. Eternal Envy fighting toe-to-toe with Dragon Forms. Not to mention, Seb has no more Sonic Wave. The damage has already been spilled and didn't do enough. Fnatic, they hold their racks and they keep their life looking pretty good.
But they did lose 2 of their tier 3 towers, so I'm going to say that's a still worthy trade for OG. And they didn't even kill the second bear either. The bear gets resummoned here. Nobody goes down, just some BKB charges. Not a big loss there for OG.
Yeah. OG will now probably look to clean up a little bit more of this map. If they can take that shrine, it'll be terrific, but they just don't know where Fnatic is. No Observe Wards inside the base. They just have the one slightly outside, and it's a smoke gang from Fnatic. They are looking for their target. And once again, I think it's No-Tail, but once again, No-Tail's already running away. Leaves the bear on the high ground, and yeah.
His BKB is on cooldown though, so that's the one advantage that they have. If they can actually gap close to him, they can go for these kills here. And Abed also having his fresh BKB means that he doesn't have to worry about Savage Roar. If they can lock down No-Tail and pull off this kill here, it would have been great. But in that moment, OG does play it safe. They've got great wards, basically encompassing the outside of Fnatic's base, and they haven't spotted their heroes. So they knew something was up, they sit back, and now they're going to safely push out the lanes again, and then try to go for some split pressure on the mid and top racks.
Yep. And then endgame objective, high ground. They can do it with Roshan. He'll respawn in 7 seconds. So this will be both Aegis and Cheese as we have the second Roshan. Probably another reason too why Fnatic is outside the base looking for something. If they can catch OG in a vulnerable position, this would be the dream for them, but they can't even keep vision. That gem of Jirax, they're taking everything that Fnatic has away.
And even getting kills is going to be so difficult here. I mean, S4 is insanely tanky now. He's got the level 20 perk with the Armlet. He's got a Bloodthorn, so if he ever actually attacks
If they had
enemies,
the E-Blade pop, they need to stun onto SK. He's just sitting there. They hookshot forward. They're going for Fly. They're reaching the back lines, trying to keep Phoenix out of this fight, and they do find the kill. So Morphling, with his BKB, was able to kill off the SK, stealing the gem. Cogs pushing everyone out of Roshan, and it's just a full runaway now. Glimpse onto the Underlord, actually, sorry, onto Queen of Pain, pulling him away. And Universe just has to outrun this. The stun forward from DK. Disruptor, can you do anything to help? Another wall? Anything? Nope. It looks like they'll just let the Underlord die. And they may have more problems. Envy gets through to the Pyro Strike from Jirax, just off target. But they're coming in through the top lane. Creep Wave's already there. Lone Druid ready to push. While the DK does the mid lane, once again, Fnatic, they just don't have the numbers to defend against 2 different flanks.
They don't even have all their ultimates either, because they've got Hookshot on about 10 though. If they can maybe jump in and blow up Sand King again, that's gonna be his dieback, but everybody is so tanky here.
Melee 1 down. Range Rush going down 2. They initiate in onto S4. They have enough. Down goes the Dragon Knight. But so does the top racks. OG in full retreat.
That was the best they could get out of that. Both of the cores on OG side had BKBs there, so Chain Stun was their only solution. They were able to steal Dragon Tail, obviously, and follow that up with enough damage, but that's the best they could hope for there. So at least they get one core kill out of it, and that's going to buy them 60 seconds. But losing the full set of racks, not the good position to be in, but it's going to buy them a little time at least.
Do they have enough time to get out and do Roshan? Like, do they have enough damage to actually do that against OG while DK's down?
Maybe.
Actually, then again, they don't know if he's got buyback or not. Like that.
But Fnatic can also be on the aggressive now because they know they can actually get a grab here. If they can take a fight, get a kill here, that's 2 dead heroes. That could give them the chance to take Roshan. So this is the best time by far to try to snag a kill.
Well, they have the Observe Ward watching Notal farming inside their own jungle. DJ lining up for the hook shot. The creep wave will die. Here goes the Rocket for the extra information. Glimpse back, BKB committed, but meanwhile Morphling dies in the mid lane. They wanted this kill on Notal, but I don't think they got enough frames to do it. The Spirit, okay, yeah, Arbed doesn't want anything to do with it. DJ, he's burning in the sun. 2 heroes lost for Fnatic. Envy going on his own gank in the mid while the rest of Fnatic were headed north. And Jirax once more. Burrow strikes out towards Universe. Double buyback here from Fnatic. They do not want to let Roshan go.
OG's got to feel really good about that. They knew that their opponents were going to be trying to punish that opportunity. OG controlled a lot of wards on the mid lane, anticipating this, and what happened was they Epicenter Blink Burrow Striked on Envy before he was able to get his BKB off or Morph off, using most likely the Force Staff on Sand King to break the Lincoln. So it was basically just like a Phoenix dive and Jerax instantly killing Morphling. So huge play from Jerax to pick him off while the rest of the fight went well for them. So they're just in a great position. They've got a gem again as well. This great ward is still spotting them, though they haven't checked that spot. So on the bright side for Fnatic, they do see their opponents. Might give them an initiation advantage, but it's 5v5 now, and there's a huge fat gold advantage on OG.
And Jerax needs to go a little bit further up the hill or a little bit further to the north to see it all. Now he'll see the mid. Universe comes forward, able to get a root. Hookshot 4 from DJ to try and split the fight up, pushing Jirax further into that storm. Esport's got the BKB to protect him. The Nova is in the back line, so there is no retreating for Fnatic unless they all want to get stunned, which is exactly what happens. They lock it in, turn on the sun, and now Universe will burn. He cannot pull anybody out. He was silent, so there was no escape. Maybe Eternal Envy's able to do it. Strength morph up everything he's got, but it's still not enough. 1 charges are available. The bear is hovering right behind him. The Sleight of Fist making it difficult to move forward, but now they just walk it up. The Dragon Tail stun connects. Eternal Envy rooted to the ground, brought down, and now it's Arbed's turn. Feared up. They bring in the extra help. A quick Sleight of Fist. He actually ends up getting No Tail, but will lose his life for it. So many players down for Fnatic. They're hoping the Rockets can connect to kill Offset, but won't happen.
Roshan is still the prize on the map, but there's a lot of dead Fnatic
Did I
heroes.
regen?
It looks like a good, especially with Seb getting the regen here. That means a lot of hit. Oh, Dragon Knight dying.
Got the hook.
Huge grab there by DJ. That's going to equalize things, equal dead heroes on both sides. Now OG could potentially buy back Dragon Knight right now to go hit up some Roshan or try to pressure some base, but maybe just safer to save their gold?
It's a good question.
That was such an important pick-off. Like, Dragon Knight was on the verge of healing back to full, essentially. Once he got out of the fight, turned off his armlet, he was going to heal back up, but what a grab there. DJ holding the game together a little bit.
Yeah, and this buys time, this buys breathing room more than anything else, and keeping him alive. Like, DJ survived through that fight, keeps the rocket vision up. They can watch Roshan. So OG, they can't just slip in and take Roshan anymore. It'll cost them too much in their minds.
Fnatic is doing a great job in these team fights, though. They're finding the one hero that they can kill easily. It's Sand King. He doesn't have a Eul's to protect himself. I slightly wish he picked one up, but I understand his other items, especially what he's up against, like Morphling. But if they go on the Sand King, they're chain disabling him, they're dropping Disruptor ulti, and they know that they can kill him. And that is at least going to remove one of the big stuns from OG's side. So Jerax, once he finishes something like his Aeon Disc, yes, that's not going to be nearly as possible. But for now, Fnatic has been holding on with what they can.
Yeah, and Fnatic are getting more to defend themselves too. Lotus Orb is what Clockwork's working his way towards. Underl is actually finally going to go in for a disable after he's got the Greaves completed. So all of the sustain items are done. Shivas was on Ember before that fight began, but they're going to have double hexes. They're going to have abilities to catch out these OG cores and potentially make space for Envy, who has been staring down this Skadi for so damn long. He's got BKB and Lincolns on a 42-minute Morphling.
He really did. I think he did have to go for this BKB build. The Lincoln's build, considering their advantage, was also necessary. And if he can pick this up, it's going to give him some good right-click advantage here in these fights.
Good smoke. Look for the target. Rocket gives like a little bit of extra vision, but the Rocket appeared in the middle of nowhere underneath the observer ward, so they know Fnatic is smoked up looking for the fight, so OG retreat up the hill. GRX stays close enough to break the smoke. Pilot Eye and GRX must be right on the edge of that range.
He almost broke the smoke here, but they still don't have the best way to initiate on Fnatic's side. It's pretty much just hook shot into follow-ups.
OG smoked themselves. They're drawing the line to wrap all the way around. This is coming from Captain Fly. Back up to their observer and Sentry, and then Fnatic, do they read this play coming? I haven't seen any pings yet.
I don't think they necessarily, they do actually. If you look at their positioning where Universe is, he doesn't know if they're going to come from the front or the side. He's trying to sit in that frontal point. Everyone else hides in the trees. And OG knows they're there as well. They saw the Fire Remnant go down. So now it's a little bit of a switcheroo here.
Abed, he wants to stay defensive. The next line that got drawn was just to go in through the top lane. They're attacking the mid lane, but here we go. Fortification is up. Fnatic, they know all about the backdooring, and they're going to try and defend against it. The melee racks, they just can't sustain long enough for it, but they go out for the fight. The Sonic Wave is good, so is the Nova. FB10 a follow-up, and the double burrow strike. Universe just cannot give his team enough to survive through this. The Nova connects, Universe will burn, and Fnatic, 3 heroes down. Only one of them has buyback available, instantly used by Universe. A triple kill for Fly. If you questioned, the Phoenix is working nicely with the rest of his team. An ultra kill for him. Excuse me, Rampage for Phoenix. Please at the front of this fight. Will it go to him? Universe will go down there, giving it to S4. Come on, bro. You don't stand in the way of this. There's more heroes buying back. Fly's not happy, but they're attacking into the tier 4 towers. They'll be happy about this. Fnatic more than on the ropes. The Hex is onto Arbed. Run back to the base. Savage Roar up, but S4 stuns him in. They have the damage. They have the kill, or do they? Yeah, instant buyback as well. The tier 4 towers are falling. The tier 4 towers have actually fallen. Open up the Ancient, and OG felt like they were underdogs coming into this game against Fnatic, but they take game 1 of this quarterfinal.
Man, they actually played so amazing this game. Like they made so few mistakes. The only major team fight issues was consistently JerAx being punished by glimpses and static storms and clock initiations. But man, their lane control to their mid game, it just put them in the easiest game ever. And this is setting a consistent pattern. OG has been doing this sometimes at their previous tournaments. They did it during the group stage here, and they just showed us another game where they played amazing.
Yeah, OG, this is a terrific performance from them. This is, for me, exactly what I wanted to see. A team winning based off fantastic play. I want to see more of this team. Give me game 2.
Give me another game as well. Fantastic performance from OG, who take the opening game in our second quarterfinal. Our panel members are all ready and primed to give you their thoughts on what looked like an immaculate display of Dota 2 by OG. Gents, Alan, you know, we question them. Are they the underdogs? Will they be consistent? Can they reproduce the kind of form they showed in the group stage and come up with consistent drafts and play around the different heroes that they've got in what was a challenging draft this time
Absolutely.
around? And they've answered all of those questions really well.
No, that was, I still think that OG lost that draft, but I think when you're in an awkward position, you pick that Queen of Pain, you give yourself 3 sort of dead lane cores, very difficult to gank, very strong in the laning phase, and you say, we're gonna come out and we're gonna play around these mid 20-minute BKB timings. Again, double BKBs, 23 and 25 minutes, and they're pressuring objectives on the Fnatic side of the map. Fnatic has these 2 very slow cores. Ember Spirit can't live. Morphling can't get items beyond the defensive. And OG, you're playing entirely on the enemy side of the map from start to finish.
Yeah, Will, how impressed are you by that performance?
Oh, I'm incredibly impressed. I felt like we talked about the most winning duo in Dota history was Fly
and No-Tail.
No-Tail, and I felt like they were the MVPs of this game for me. That Phoenix performance, the ultra kill at the end, I feel like they should have given them the Rampage.
What are they doing there?
The crowd felt it too. And No-Tail was surreal in this game. He always applied pressure at bottom. He only died once or twice doing so. He was able to grab that tier 2 early, which really just took away the Morphling strengths.
Yeah. He really is great on those micro-intensive heroes as well, isn't he?
Absolutely. The bear control at all times, he would always use his Helm of Dom creep to try to scout it in front, made sure that he was never ganked, never in rough positions, while simultaneously pressuring that bottom lane at all times.
What did you enjoy, Ted?
Being right in my prediction.
Always a good start.
People question my Dota knowledge, Paul.
Do they?
They do.
No.
They do.
Do they?
And I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty often right in the old predictions. I'll
I
tell
thought
you
you-
why.
I thought you were always
this draft. I know, Paul. That's because you're so used to when I'm on panel, I'm always right.
Exactly.
My point is this: I've played with almost this exact draft many times. Shout out to my boy Plague on the Lone Druid. I know how you win this game, and OG figured it out.
Yeah.
Split push. Lone Druid's taking a full range, full lane of barracks.
Yeah.
You guys just chilling, and you've got the counter initiation. If they come in, you got Sand King, you got Phoenix. What are they going to do? They're going to kill DK like that? No.
There was only one kind of resistance part in this, and it was the Morphling, and it was incredibly difficult to kill during those times. They push in, they come out, they push in, they come out. But that was about it, wasn't it?
He's difficult to kill, but at the end of the day, he's building Lincoln's BKB because that's what he is.
Yeah,
he's still not dealing the damage.
I think the clockwork was, I thought Abed, right? Was it Abed on the clock? I thought
No, it was DJ on the clockwork.
Sorry. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good
Although I will put forward, Alan, we mentioned it ourselves backstage when we were watching it, there were initiations that lost Fnatic men. You know, there were some where you just went, well, they started that and they ended up losing two and didn't get anything out of it.
I really think it was the support play, to me, that stood out as the difference between the two teams. We talked about the favorable core matchups, but from the 20-minute mark onward, the supports of OG were 4 and 5 levels ahead of the supports on the opposite side from the entire game. And I agree with Ted. DJ made some great plays, but he's 4 levels behind and a full mid-tier item behind his counterpart on the other side. The egg in those fights, they're never able to threaten. And that makes a huge difference when you're talking about a Phoenix game.
Yeah, Will, you mentioned you were impressed by Fly on the Phoenix. We shouldn't really be that surprised. He's the 3rd most played that hero and got plenty of experience on it. And I think when we remember back to some of the successful times around the middle of Major, as you said before, you think of Fly and you think of that hero.
Oh yeah, there's been so many times where I see Fly pick this hero. I know that eventually a Roche fight is going to happen, and he's going to win that Roche fight because he's just going to pop his egg. Nobody
he's
can
just
hit
so
it.
good. Yeah, it's fantastic to watch him on it.
His Sunray dealt so much damage in that game too. It was the perfect counter to the Underlord, the natural tankiness of that hero, good heals. I mean, his positioning in the team fights as well. He got a ton of farm. I think he ended the game with the Shivas on him. What more can you ask for him?
Well, the only thing you can ask for him is the Rampage. But you
Hey,
have
S4.
That wasn't really on him though.
Like, why aren't they tipping S4?
Do you see what VP does? Whenever somebody's in a Rampage position, they all clear out.
Yes.
They all clear. That's team unity.
They did that on the, I can't remember who the last hit was, but they literally got him to no health. And it was just like, there you go, there's your Rampage. And S4 was like, I'll have that.
Yeah, mean.
So
we said he was a nice guy.
We did
we
as
were
well.
Wrong.
We were all wrong, hopelessly wrong. On the other side of things, what can Fnatic do? They've got a lot to think about, presumably, in the break.
I think Fnatic have to be looking at things and saying maybe if one of our 2 cores in the 1-2 positions were a little bit less greedy, that game goes a little bit less differently because they just didn't have much of a safety valve after the laning phase to fall back on. The Underlord is innately a very defensive hero, as well as Disruptor can hold high ground as well. But the fact is, once you lost map control so early, as Will mentioned with the pushing Lone Druid, there's no way you're going to be able to farm up those 2 big cores.
Okay, we're going to head to a break, and when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 will be upon us. Are we going to get all 3 games in a quarterfinal? Well, it's going to take a Herculean effort from Fnatic to come back into this one as they find themselves 1-0 down to OG. We'll see you in a bit.
Look at the BKB to protect him. The Nova is in the back line, so there is no retreating for Fnatic unless they all want to get stunned, which is exactly what happens. They lock it in, turn on the sun, and now Universe will burn. He cannot pull anybody out. He was silent, so there was no escape. Maybe Eternal Envy's able to do it. Strength morph up everything he's got, but it's still not enough. 1 charges are available. The Bear is hovering right behind him. The Sleight of Fist making it difficult to move forward, but now they just walk it up. The Dragon Tail Stun connects. Eternal Envy rooted to the ground, brought down, and now it's Arbez's turn. Feared up. They bring in the extra help. A quick Sleight of Fist. He actually...
'Twas the night before Birmingham, and all through the houses, the community was restless, clicking their mouses. But in the heart of the city, excitement is brewing. A major's in town, and there's lots that needs doing. The tournament's being set up, all nice and neat, awaiting the pro gamers who soon will compete. The city finally settles, all snug in their beds, with visions of Aegises dancing in their heads. When they're finally asleep in the dead of the night, a plan was hatched to make the event feel just right. Understanding it all requires a pretty quick brain.
Just leave it to me. I'm a techie's man.
He had devised a gift they'd never forget. Bright golden packages, rarer than any set. Inside the boxes hid heartwarming notes, made using Slack's knowledge of memes and the dotes. There was a wide selection of loot with the cards, to encourage each pro to really try hard. With haste, he visited each player's room, knowing the teams would be waking up soon. At last, all the packages made it into the hands of Dota 2 icons from faraway lands.
Nope, not me.
His work was done, not a thing had gone wrong.
Finally time to plan the next gyrocopter song. Katy Perry.
Before his new mission, he had time to consider the upcoming major and the moments it'll deliver.
I do.